Hi everybody, this is a video of the Thorn 8-foot fluorescent strip light. As you can see, this is the 8-foot fluorescent strip light I saved from this social club where I go bingoing on a Sunday night. And as you can see, it's 8 foot long. And my older brother gave this to me 2 years ago. And it took me 2 years to get this 8-foot strip light fully restored. But as you can see, this cover plate looks a bit in a very bad shape. But I tried my best to get it all in perfect shape. As you can see, it's rusted. It was in the gents' toilet. It looks like it's been in the gents' toilet. Well, yeah, the gents' toilet for about over 40 years and whatnot. And as you can see, and this fitting is about over 40 years old. Well, at least 40, but it might be about nearly 50, but not quite 50. It looks about, well, it has got that very like early, mid or late 70s appearance, and it's got those T12 holders. And this guy, I put a new magnetic ballast in this, and when I got this 8-foot strip light that I say from the social club where I go bingoing on Sunday night, this strip light, when we tested it, when the two men tested this for me, the ballast was faulty, but it's got a new one put in now. So as you can see now, let's tell you the little story. I put with these little end holders that holds the tube in place. It's got them little false cap shields because the other ones were all crumbled away due to its age and it's been hot and cold all the time. And the same thing on the other end, on this 8-foot, on the end of this 8-foot fitting. Yes, and I had to put some, I had to file around it just to try and fit those little false cap shields in. They were attached to these little plastic extensions. Well, that's what they are. They were part of those little cap shields. But I had to take those little things off because they were all crumbling. Well, I had a big crack in it, and I won't like to use it. But as you can see now, they're all fastened in nice and tightly. I know it does look in a bit of a rusty shape, but that's all I have to do with it. But anyway, guys, not to worry. This to tell you a little story about this 8-foot strip light. Back at my primary school years ago, when I went to my primary school, we had a couple of those 8-foot fluorescent strip lights at Thorn. And it's a pity Thorn doesn't do these anymore. But this is worth getting hold of because it's part of history. And it took me some while for someone to help me get this fully powered up again. Yeah, so at my primary school years ago, we had a couple of those 8-foot strip lights. There were 6-foot ones, but the 6-foot ones had semi-resonant startups. Some of the 8-foot ones had that. I know they were supposed to be like magnetic with the starter on the other side, as you can see. Yeah, and the 8-foot ones didn't really work very well at my primary school. There was something wrong with the choke, and the caretaker had to replace them for them new ones. And the new ones were like Crompton ones, and they had twist and lock-in ones, which they weren't really too nice. They were a bit too plain, which they didn't have a character. But anyway, so as you can see now, this is the 8-foot fluorescent strip light. So I'm going to open this up and with my lovely, beautiful Wilco screwdriver. So I mustn't over tighten these. So make sure I've loosened it right up so I can get to the inside. So oopsie daisy. Might just be able to manage this. So it's coming up now. That's it. That's one. Put that through. Now the second one, which I'll do this one as well. Oh dear. Oopsie daisy. I'm going to have to just spare this up a bit. That's it, that's two. Because it's a separate plate, it's not one big plate because of this being 8 foot long. So, but that's how Thorn used to make these. One of those 70s made ones. Oh, whoopsie daisy again. Not to worry, guys, all I have to do is just loosen the screws up. I just need to loosen it. It's coming up now. Yeah, that's 3. Now finally, onto this very end one here. Better if I had them little turn-on ones you could do with your fingers. That's what they used to start making in 80s and 90s before they moved on to them ones with twist and lock in. I don't know how they were to get them on and off. But this is like an old made one that Thorn used to make. Fancy that's I think that's the very biggest company for a lighting. Thorn. Anyway, that's 4. So right, I'll take this one out. Oh, silly me. I need to get that ready to take off. Right, that's 1. And finally, we should say 1 on this side. So right, I'll take this one off now. So anyway, so as you can see now, this is the 8-foot strip light with all the inside. I know the inside looks all in very bad nick, but I cleaned it up. But it has kind of rusted away, but it'll still work, guys, because as you can see, it's got that little starter button holder and with a live wire connected. And as you can see, yes, and that's looking so interesting. I won't bother disturbing that. And this is a new capacitor. That's a capacitor. It's like made of plastic. I won't bother touching that, but anyway, so as you can see, guys, so I've just wiped my hands. My hands are a bit sweaty. That's what I do when I do YouTubing. So as you can see now, this is a Tridonic. That's the name of the company, but it's a magnetic start. A magnetic start ballast. Tridonic compact. Yeah, it says compact ballast. 100 watt, 240 volts /50, and one time 100 watt /180 centimeters. 0.9. Yeah, 0.98A. Yeah, 0.98A. 050, made in Austria. That's what it says. TW 130/55/155, and that's P and N, and that's usually, I don't know what the P stands for. But as you can see, that the power station, the ballast, and the capacitor, and the starter button holder were bought off eBay, and I bought that to put into this 8-foot fluorescent strip light. And just to take a good look inside. So as you can see, guys, it's looking all nice. That's a thick live wire. I had to put another live wire towards this because the white wire that was part of live, but it wouldn't stretch very long to fit that starter button holder through that square hole, and it's square on the other side. So, and as you can see now, you can see right inside, it carried about 2 ballasts, a ballast and a booster, but I took all that out because it were quite old, because it were old age, because it been hot and cold and all the time and what have you. And forgot to say, it's fitted with the 5 amp fuse, and as you can see on it, but I'm not going to bother taking that out, but all there is just live. Yeah, we'll start with earth, live and neutral. Earth in the middle, live on the right, neutral on the left, and that's what I can see now. So, and it's got a fuse on it, and the guy did this for me yesterday, and he had the nerve to get this going, and I'm very, very, very pleased with him, and I really do appreciate it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to put the strip plate back on now. So that's it. So make sure it's clipped down. Right, put this through. Right, it's a bit awkward because it'd be handy if I could have, yeah, but don't worry, guys, I can manage it. That's 1. That's 2. Let me just get my screwdriver to tighten it down, guys. So, just make a bit of a noise. It is quite old, this, but it will work though, because it's in a very good position. It's still in a bit of bad, well, the outer metal's all rusted because it's been in the, like I said, it's been in the gents' toilet for over 40 years from the social club where I go bingo on a Sunday night. And I asked this guy to save it for me, which he has done. He'll do exactly, yeah. He'll appreciate it, and he'll be so happy when I show this him. And I know it's because of the safety. That's why the electrician, this lady who I see from Tai Chi, she's because her husband being an electrician and whatnot. But anyway, oh, that's it now. Got it now. Let's slot that through. There we go. Let's just tighten that down. It's a bit awkward having one pair. Better if I had 2 pairs of hands. But do forgive me, guys. Got it. That's 3. It's tightening down, but I mustn't over tighten it because that would be difficult. Anyway, that's 3 now. So finally, the 4th one to be tightened down. So do it with my fingers before I put this fluorescent tube. And it's turned off at the socket. So anyway, guys, I'm going to turn this soon. That's it. And now before I do that, before I put the tube in, I'll show you guys the starter button. Oh, I think it don't want to come out, but anyway, just to show you the starter button. This is a General Electric starter button. It says 155 if the camera comes in focus. Well, I'll just say anyway, it's NR 155/800 at 1500 millimeters, 80 watts, 1800 millimeters, 75/85 watts, and at 2400 millimeters, 100/125, made in China, and it's by General Electric, and that's all it says on it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to put that starter button back in. So that's it. It's fully in now. So anyway, guys, I'm going to start putting the fluorescent tube in now. So right, I'm going to try and put that in. Oh, will it click? That's it, got it. Right, I've done that end now, so I managed to do that with a one pair of hands. There we go. So that's it, clicked on. And let's get to the other end. Let's put that back in my pocket. This screwdriver. It's a nice screwdriver. It doesn't always grip properly, but let's get to that other end. Make sure it's fully fastened on. Yes, it is now. So, and it's turned off at the switch. And does it say, yeah, it's off now. So anyway, I'm going to get it ready now. So I'm going to turn it on at the socket. Right, that's it now. It's turned on at the socket. It's ready to fire up in 1 second or two, everybody. So as you can see now, the 8-foot strip light's ready to fire up. As I turn off the big lights. Right, that's it now. The big lights have gone out now. So onto the 8-foot fluorescent strip light, everybody. Okay, everybody, ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that certainly did blink happy, and it did make a humming noise as it started up. So as you can see now, it's fully come on, and it is like a warm white colour. It shines like a peachy colour. And let's take a good close-up into that etch on it. It does have the name of the company on it, and it says LET. It says LET. Yeah, LET.021.80, yeah, 8011, F100T12, 85, yeah, 835 white deluxe. That's usually like between warm and cool white. I don't know if they ever do warm white or cool white at 8 foot, but all they did is just this one at 835, and it's got 835 Kelvin. That's just like regular white, but it will warm up eventually, guys. So as you can see now, it's made a right, and it has blinked happy. And this is a nice 8-foot strip light of my own. How about that for a great big kitchen strip light, everybody? Well, I tried it at my mum and dad's house once we got it ballasted up. The guy helped me ballasted it up. So when I first turned it on to start with, it tripped out twice at first because the live wire wasn't contacting on the starter button holder. And it wasn't contacting it properly, so because it were bent, but not to worry, straightened it back up now, guys. So as you can see now, it's fully warming up anyway. So I can see the very ends warming, getting brighter, but the very middle part looks a little bit dim, but not dark. But it's a little teeny weeny bit dim, but not to worry, guys. So as you can see now, and that's the very first time I've ever done an 8-foot fluorescent strip light on YouTube, and this is the very first time I've done one. I hope someday when I look on eBay for an 8-foot fluorescent fluorescent tube in cool daylight, I'd love to. I don't think they ever made black light blue ones at daylight, but they only do black light blue ones between like 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, or 5 foot, but I don't think they ever do ones at 6 foot. I don't know if they ever did colour fluorescent tubes like red, yellow, green, or blue, or pink at 8 foot. I don't think they ever did, but all they did is just white ones. But I know I've seen an 8-foot fluorescent tube in daylight at 8 foot. But this one is like warm white. When I look at the colour, it's like a very peachy colour, but it's supposed to be like standard white, but it shines like more warm white. That's what some people class it as. So as you can see, this strip light is the most beautiful strip light. But once I bought a fluorescent tube for it 2 years ago. And when I bought it 2 years ago, I tried it in, but I bought it from the electrical shop on the corner near where I live. And it cost £20. That's how much this fluorescent tube cost. This 8-foot strip, yeah, well, I've done a very good job at cleaning this up, but it'd be nice to be able to be coloured in white, but as you can see now, it's fully nice and warm. I don't know how long those type of fluorescent tubes last for, but at one time, coming into the 2010s, they said they stopped making fluorescent tubes, and that's why people changed them to smaller strip lights, because they changed the smaller ones because they're due to stopping making 8-foot tubes. But then again, the 8-foot tubes came back again. I don't know when I think they came back about, might be about 3 years ago, and they came up as like warm white. But this is the only type of fluorescent tube I could get, that 8-foot one. And as you can see now, yeah, and it's lit my living room nice and bright. And look all around and see it in the reflection. And I never known anybody. I used to go to a teacher's house years ago when I was a little boy. I was about 7. He had 2 of those 8-foot strip lights in each one of his kitchen. Well, he had a twin pack one in his kitchen and one in his extension, like they called the conservatory. Like, yeah, the extension part. He had an 8-foot one, and I didn't think they were called 8-foot ones. But back at my primary school, we had a couple of those, and also back at my secondary school, we had a load. All the classrooms had 8-foot strip lights. And I know a lot of strip lights. Well, and at the schools now, a lot of schools in nowadays will no longer have 8-foot strip lights now because they've all changed to smaller ones. And also they'll all change to LED. They might do LED ones at 8 foot. But I measured this fluorescent strip light, and this strip light is actually 7'11", but it's classified 8 foot. And that's what it is. So anyway, guys, so as you can see now, it's turned on at the socket and it's in the extension. So I'm going to do is turn it off and turn it back on. So guys, I'm going to wipe my hands because I've had a bit of sweat on my hands. So anyway, guys, I'm going to turn it back on now. Here we go. Right, that's it now. The 8-foot strip light's gone out. Now it's just got the blue LED lights on and everything and what have you, guys. So just got the blue lights on now. So you can see all the twinkle of the blue LED lights now, everybody. So anyway, guys, I'm going to turn this 8-foot strip light back on now, everybody. Here we go. Wow, and that still did blink happy. It does make a thudding noise when it starts up. It's like one of my 5-foot strip light does that. It's that Fitzgerald one, and that's the same, and that's still batten slim as well as this Thorn one. And it's a pity Thorn doesn't do these anymore. That's the name of the company, Thorn. I think Thorn did loads of those strip light fittings. I think they did loads of them in different shapes, more than Philips ones or even Crompton ones. But Thorn ones, I think Thorn ones were more efficient for buildings that were built in the 1970s. And this strip light does give me the 1970s feeling. Yeah, and it's a nice, beautiful peachy colour, and as you can see, and all around. And I'm surprised there's no cathode shields inside the filament. Well, around the filament on each end of this 8-foot tube. And it's only got like, and I think cathode shields are more likely to more fussed to stop the ends of the tube blackening too easily. But this tube won't get used too often, because I'm using this for the demonstration, like I'm demonstrating right now and what have you. Yeah, so as you can see now, and it's lit my room. Once again, it's lit my living room nice and bright, and none of my washing's hanging out. So as you can see now, it's looking nice and bright, and it has warmed up at 100 watts warm, so it doesn't, well, I don't know if the middle part doesn't get 100 watts warm, but the very ends do. That's what it's classed as 100 watt. And there is a 125 watt tube, the same size as an 8-foot one, because they don't ever make T8 ones at 8 foot, just T12 ones. So anyway, guys, so as you can see now, the Thorn 8-foot strip light's fully warmed up at 100 watts warm and 500 watts bright. I think that's the equivalent to 500 watts bright. Well, I just don't know, guys. So anyway, guys, and it is fully warmed up at, like, once again, it's fully warmed up at 100 watts warm and it's nice and bright and it's fully warmed, reached its full brightness. So anyway guys, I'm going to turn off this 8-foot strip light now. So that's it now, it's gone out now, so I'm going to turn the big lights back on now, everybody. So anyway guys, the big lights are back on now, everybody. So anyway guys, this is a video of the Thorn 8-foot fluorescent strip light, everybody. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. So please comment, rate, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, everybody.